What's good, guys? It's your boy 3 here, back with another Pokemon video. And today we have the week 1 matchup against GTP. This was a really fun series, really fun sets we build, and it really paid off in a convincing win for the week 1 in the GTP League. And on another note, hope you've been liking the videos that's been coming out. We expect to have more weekly videos. We unfortunately do have a week 2 bye. So the next videos won't be until the team building video of week 3 against Dobby. Anyways, love you guys. Hope to see y'all there. Peace. C3 versus GTP game 1. Now this was a very strong showing for the team. A very strong week 1. We got to utilize a lot of the fun sets we build. And we really got a great read on some of the sets Z would have brought this game, and we prepped immaculately for that. So let's start off this game 1 right here. We know we got the Scar for Bombi, so we're never afraid of this Greninja. And it might have caught him off guard with a Moonblast. So we fire one off on the Corviknight. He defogs trying to predict the Sticky Web, but we're fine. We get a nice Magma Storm off here on the Rotom Wash. He makes a prediction here, I believe, on this and clicks Pain Split on the Ogerpon. Now, you know we went Ogerpon because we are never scared of the Will-O-Wisp as we're Lumberry. So this is always a switch in. If we catch him on a Wisp, it's perfectly fine for us. Now, he didn't even Wisp this turn, so we still get to keep that Lumberry in check and keep it hidden until later parts in the game. But right here on this turn, we're going to fire off and knock off. Right here on the core, we're going to knock off that Rocky Helmet, which is fantastic. And, you know, Heatran comes in every time on this unless it's ID Body Press. But we still beat that because it has the ID first. Now, this turn, we get a good Stealth Rock off here, which really hurts his team, as I don't believe he has any boots. He Will-O-Wisp trying to predict the Ogerpon, but we are not afraid of this. We fire off a Toxic here. And, you know, we're max Spadef Heatran here for that Chi-Yu, so 50% from Hydro was doing nothing. And we also got that Protect on deck. So we beat this Rotom now in a 1v1. Tries to get out of there, can't. And it's just smooth sailing from there. Now this Greninja comes out. We need to find out what this Greninja set is, so he fires off a Hydro Pump. I go Latios to really see if he's Specs. Well, we do see he's Life Orb on this turn. So he could change it up. We go Rabombi because we know we outspeed here. We fire off a nice trick on this Corviknight to really hamper the whole game. Lando Therian comes out. Now I believe we get the Sticky Web up. That is correct. And the MVP Cresselia comes out. Now this Cresselia set had intentions to do what it did. Like, really. But I did not expect this level of walling that Cresselia did. Some of the rolls they got were ridiculous in this entire series. He just had nothing that could have beat this besides Greninja. And we can beat that every time. We get the Chomp out on this one. The Muck comes in, and I missed the Scale Shot there, which would have put that in Earthquake range, which I wouldn't have been afraid of. But I knew the Ice Punch was coming out, so the Heatran comes. We fire off a Magma Storm. Miss, unfortunately. So he's going to get some health. It's going to start chipping at us. I'm going to Protect to get that Lefties back. He's going to try to knock it off. I do believe I fire off another Magma Storm and miss, so it is unfortunate. But we do have to let Heatran go here. I'm going to get it rocks before, anything goes away. So let's bring out the Ogerpon here. Hit the U-turn on him. Into Cresselia. Luckily, no poison on that P-Jab, so we get the Rocky Helmet chip. And now we go Garchomp on that likely predicted P-Jab. Muck comes back out. Now this doesn't beat me. Now I have the Scale Shot up. And now it's wrapped. It's pretty much a good game from here. The game does last quite a bit longer, but, we got to find out what all the sets are in this game 1. Cresselia comes back out. U-turn 33%. We're getting that Rocky helmet chip, and this stealth rock chip is just doing so much work for us right now. Rabombi comes back on the dark pulse. Now we threaten this thing again. Yep, Scarf, reveal it. Go ahead and knock out that Greninja. And I believe here we do find out he is Scarf Landorus. Knockoff doesn't work. We get all 3 hits on the scale shot. And now nothing can beat this. Come back on Cresselia. We know this wall's lopping this and like fakes out. Get that Rocky helmet. U-turn, another live right there, 32%, and we get the Moonlight off here. It's just actually ridiculous how much work Cresselia put in this series. That's the MVP candidate right now. We get back to full HP, and that's wraps from here. Don't need to sit through all this, but that'll be a wraps on game 1, and I'll see y'all back here for game 2. And we are back with a fine game 2. And in my honest opinion, this game 2 was over almost from turn 5 or 6, I believe. And we'll find out why here. Now, let's start the game. Start the game off right. Same lead, Rabombi. He knows I'm Scarf now. So I'm going to switch out on the U-turn. Cresselia again putting in their work, that Rocky helmet chip. Now, this is where Z kind of messed up. And this is where I knew I was safe. Remember, in the team building video, we were only afraid of Specs Greninja. So we live Dark Pulse from the HP we were at every single time. Right. Go back here. We're at 83. We live Dark Pulse easily. I believe it only does around 47 to 53% because he's Life Orb. So this turn, he predicts me to go back to Rabombi on the Dark Pulse, thinking I'll be afraid. So he Hydro Pumps. Unfortunately for him, you know, we got T-Wave. So Greninja being crippled kind of seals a lot of the game. You know, we just kind of got to whittle everything else down. Latios does come out at the end of this. We try to pull off the 6-0. But some unfortunate things happened and, you know, we just couldn't get there. But we Moonlight back up. He gets paired on a supposed Dark Pulse. We're going to T-Bolt. He does go for Hydro Pump here and misses. So now he has to switch out. But, you know, Cresselia just putting in so much work this game. Ogerpon comes out. You know, we're not afraid of it because of the Will-O-Wisp, and I believe he does miss a Willow right here. Oh, he doesn't. This is where he goes Corviknight. This is where I reveal Taunt. So there's no defog, no roosting. He clicks U-turn on the Heatran, and he goes Lop. On this, I go back to Cresselia because, you know, we wall this all the time. He fires off a CC. Rocky Helmet Chip putting in work. 16%. Another 16%. And we Moonlight this back up. Oh, I believe we T-Wave here, actually. I think I predicted him to stay in, maybe. Maybe throw off a frustration or return. But we don't even die to that Landorus U-turn, so we really get right back up to 66. Fire off a T-Bolt on this Corviknight. Look at the work. And fun, like a good thing to note here on this turn is a good thing to note right here is that all the chip that this Corviknight takes in the future, it'll never be able to heal this back up. Because, you know, we have Heatran and we have Taunt on the Ogerpon to prevent it from healing back up and defogging, which was a very nice bring on my part. And this was a great prediction and prep work for this Corviknight. So this 16% is going a long way. So this 37% it almost never finds back. He goes back into Lando. Knockoff does not kill, 47%. Oh my God, Cresselia, we Moonlight that right back up. But we don't have the Rocky helmet no more. So thing to note. Goes back to Rotom Wash on my Ice Beam. This is where we reveal it. Oh, we go Ogerpon here on the Hydro Pump, and this is where he misses the Will-O-Wisp, but it didn't really matter. And at the end of the day, we do have that Lumberry that we prepped for. But unfortunate, it is a miss. Goes Corv, and like I said, we Ivy Cudgel. It's coming out on this, but it never finds that HP back. Tries to go for the Roost, but we taunt it. We're going to knock off that Rocky Helmet. As I believe it U-turns here. Oh my god. Ogerpon putting in that work and living on 3% as well. Rabombi comes back here on the U-turn from Loppity. Rotom Wash comes back out. I believe he Pain Splits here. Yep. Doesn't get that much back. I mean, we're Rabombi, so not the best play. But now Lottie. We find Lottie in. And, you know, we just fire off these Specs Dracos. Muck does come out. Taking 57% from this Draco. Enormous damage. We love it. Garchomp comes out on it. Knocks off. Taking that 12%. We're going to Mega here. We do get a lucky crit here. And 3 hits. So this next Scale Shot only needs 2. 1, 2. Yep. Now Garchomp's in. Looking like a real threat. Loppity comes in to fake out. We stay in. Does that damage 34. I probably could have stayed in here in the future on this fake out. But I think I wanted to preserve the 6-0. But I believe it was a 6-0 regardless. Just me playing safe. We Fire Fang it. I thought he saw a kill here. So I went Cresselia. Because we always wallet anyway. U-turn comes out. I can Moonlight back up to get my HP back. Really trying to preserve this 6-0 right here. Mutt comes out on the Cresselia. Get a little bit of Ice Beam chip. Maybe go for a little freeze. But Heatran comes out. We're trying to preserve it. I believe Heatran does miss. Oh, hits the Magma Storm here. Traps it in. And we can really go forward at this. Drain Punch, chip. We miss a Magma Storm. But we really try to just chip this thing down until we get it. Which we do. Eventually. Scarflando comes out here. Scouting what it goes for. He goes for EQ. Now I can bring out Lottie. We're going to fire off another Draco here. He has no switch-ins. Pretty much wins the game. Draco, second Greninja. Which was never really a threat after it got parried. We know something's coming out here. A knockoff, perhaps. It did U-turn. Loppity comes back in for the fake out. We have Latios. And we're going to try to fire off a Draco. But unfortunately, we miss. So the 6-0, it's not possible anymore. We did have Ice Beam on this, so maybe like a switch into... We just had to scout whatever the Landorus was going for. But I'm almost positive we had a 6-0 here if that Draco hit. But unfortunately, we miss. I go Rabombi. We always outspeed this. Fire off a Moonblast because we still have our Scarf. And, you know, fire off another one. And we bring in Cresselia to end the game. But yeah, this was a really fun series. I think we prepped really well for this. We got almost everything right outside of him leaving Chi-Yu at home. But you know, we take that. Unfortunately, we do have a bye week in week 2. So the next team build won't be until week 3 when we play Dobby and the boys out there. And again, thank you all for watching. This was the 2-game series of C3 and Zetapina. So hopefully y'all enjoyed. Leave a like, comment, subscribe on the video, share with your friends. We are going to get weekly Pokemon content out on this league and a few other things coming in the future. So, like always, Love you guys. Peace.